WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I'm not really sure how rare and exotic this is, where you're at, but it's fairly rare and exotic here. Remus Repeal Reserve number 6, Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 50%. When I read this, the first thought, why didn't they just put bottle and bond on it? It's from one distillery, Ross and Squibb, their MGP, and I was like, Jason, you stupid idiot. We have our different seasons, yeah? Bottle and bond, one distilling season, one distiller. That's why they didn't do it. That makes sense. So what do we have here? We have actually, what we really have here is an 8-year-old whiskey. Now, my partners and I from the UK are thinking of importing over to Europe some bottles from from distillers or bottlers in the US that have exactly this same type of label. They list actually the percentage and the years of the whiskey. According to my information, that is absolutely 100% illegal in Europe. In Europe, you're only allowed to have the youngest whiskey on the label. So you can put on your website, even that, Bruichladdich was actually, had a cease and desist order that they had to black out everything that wasn't the youngest on their website even. So that might not even be allowed, all right? I do know that, for example, Four Roses Limited Edition, small batch that on the website, you can read the percentages, but it's not on the bottle. All right, so we have 2% whiskey from the year 2008. And that's a mash bill with 21% rye. And then we basically have here from the year 2012, we have 44% whiskey. 27% with the 21% low rye and 17% with a high rye 36. And then the majority of this whiskey, we are talking about 54% is whiskey from the year 2014. This was bottled 2022, so this is an 8-year-old whiskey. Recommended retail price, $100. And now we're going to come to the second point that I don't understand. All right, I don't understand how we can sell this bottle in Europe. We do have a 750, which is not a size that is allowed in Europe. You actually have to put a little sticker on and say it's 700, but that's something else. In America, we can now have 750 and 700. So Jason's ranting and raving. And the second thing I don't understand is the recommended retail price in Germany is 149 euros from the importer. No problem. $100 in America, getting it over here, higher taxes, 149, absolutely okay. I can buy this exact bottle, and I did, because it was cheaper for me to buy it in the Netherlands as a normal consumer than it was to actually buy it from the German distributor as a retailer. So I'm set up that I can buy from wholesalers direct, and it was cheaper for me to buy the bottle in the Netherlands at the retail price than it was actually in Germany at the wholesale price. All right, so 99 euros is what it was going for over in the Netherlands. And this one shop, whiskysite.nl, Netherlands, actually had a 15% rebate going on at the same time. And so you were 86, 85 euros for this bottle. I don't know how they can sell this bottle for 80-some euros in the Netherlands when it's 100 in America. All right, so it just boggles my mind. So we have an 8-year-old whiskey. We have 50%. I thought to myself, what whiskey do I have that would be equivalent to that I could share and try? I have an Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare 10-year-old whiskey, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. The youngest whiskey has to be on the label. There could be 12-year-old, there could be 14-year-old, but this 10-year-old Eagle Rare. I just bought a couple bottles of this at Amazon. We can buy whiskey on Amazon over here in Europe. I paid 30 euros. I paid 29 euros, 87 cents. I paid 30 euros for a bottle of Eagle Rare 10. I was at Dustin's House of Bourbon in Louisville last summer, so in the summer of 2022, and I saw a bottle of Eagle Rare. They had it on sale, or they had it behind glass for $199. Amazon selling it for 30 euros. I can literally get 5 bottles of this in Europe, in Germany at the moment, for the recommended retail price of 1 bottle of this. And it's older. It's only 45%. This is 50. But still, it's older. And I'm going to actually say it tastes better. At least to me and my palate. All right, so we're going to compare these two. So I am not a Remus Repeal fanboy yet. This is the very, very first one I've ever had. So I have number 6 here. I just opened it. It's going to be a so-called neck pour. That's life with me. I think they put in the bottle that way, so I'm going to drink it that way. I did a bottle share, so it's gone anyway. So, all right. So I always get the first 5 CLs here at the top. Those are mine, and that's how I review my bottles. Almost always. If you don't like it, no problem. Go someplace else. So, now, the very, very first thing I get on the nose is a certain sweetness. I get a little bit of a fig moment. I do get vanilla. I do get wood. I do get a tiny little bit of the Christmas spices. So, tiny bit of the cloves and the cinnamon here. But I do get a little bit of a youthfulness, a little bit of a green tree sap moment. And I do get a little bit of a young bourbon moment, a tiny little bit of acetone. Now, the rick houses at MGP, okay, Ross and Squibb Distillery, they are massive. They're not made from wood. It's not a rick house. It's actually a warehouse with concrete floors, with concrete walls, and so on. So really, really nicely regulated temperature, which means that the whiskey needs a little bit longer to mature there. 8 years is great, but it's not the pinnacle of our whiskey maturation. I do know many, many people bought MGP stock, took it out of Lawrenceburg, took it down to Kentucky, took it down to Texas, took it down over to Colorado, took it all over the country, and they let it mature there. So that was a little bit different. The stock themselves here from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, is okay, but 8 years of age. One last thing, 2%. 2% of the 2008 in here. That is less than 1 ounce. So imagine I have my Eagle Rare here. I take out less than 1 ounce, so 2% of 750 milliliters. And I actually then I replenish it with, let's say, this is a fairly old one. This is an 11.5-year-old Cream of Kentucky. So this is here at 51%. So I just put maybe less than 1 ounce back in there of that. And then I try one without it and the one with it. Would I be able to recognize the difference? I don't think so. I'm not good enough. Maybe you are, but I don't recognize that. The other thing, if I had used peated whiskey instead, I would recognize that. We're talking about parts per million there, and that's something that we can recognize, but I don't know if I could have exactly the same. Let's say I just had this and I put the Eagle Rare 17, which is much, much older than what's gone in here and there. That 1 ounce, I don't know. I really don't think so. All right, on the nose, this is darker, this is fruitier, there's more cherry involved, there's more toffee and caramel. This is good. This smells to me like a $40 bourbon. Sorry. An old $40 bourbon. I guess 80 is the new 40, so this does not smell magnificent. Now, if I read the websites here correctly, they talk about all the awards this thing has won. I mean, it's kind of crazy, to be honest. So, where was this here? So, what did we win here? It got the double gold at the San Francisco World Championship. It got the Chairman's Trophy of the Ultimate Spirits Challenge. It got platinum at the SIP International Competition. It got 98 points at the tasting panel there. Also, the series number 5 was the best bourbon under 100 euros for Brooks, it was the top 5 American whiskeys 2021 by Fred Minnick. It was best of class, Sunset International Spirits Competition. That was the 5, but not the 6. So everything says, everything that I talked about is the Remus Repeal Reserve Series. Not number 6, the series has won all these awards. I haven't tried the other ones. I really don't know if they're better. All right, so we do have here, so let's see here. Number 1 was maybe, I think, 2017. I do know that 2 was 18, and 3 was 19, and 4 was 20, and 5 was 21, and 6 is 22. So, and I do know that the 2 has the best, the 2 and the 3 have very, very great marks here online, and the 5 really didn't. Of the 6 people that voted for it, we have people who gave it a 70s and people who gave it a 90. So wow, that really doesn't make a difference. I'm not feeling the love here yet. Cheers. It doesn't have the depth that I was expecting, at least for all the hype that I heard about this. As I said the whole time, it tastes a tiny little bit green, a little bit young. There's an acetone moment. If I had not known, I would have said this is Green River, Bradshaw bourbon. It's got the sweetness. It's really, really sweet. And if it's like, okay, and oh, nice sweetness. Oh, yeah, okay, good. It does have a little bit of that fig moment going on there, a tiny little bit. It's good. It's a C. On a good day, maybe a C plus whiskey. Don't add water. I did that in my German video. It did not take well to water. The sweetness, the 50%, very, very nice. As I said, C plus on a good day. Value for money, 150 euros over here in Germany. Definitely a D. $100 in the States. I would feel cheated. All right, so this is an 8-year-old product. Yeah, if you're going to put a number on here, write a big old 8-year on this, because the youngest whiskey in the majority of that young whiskey is 8-year-old max. Now, going over here instead to the Eagle Rare, which I know many, many people in America cannot find any place, and I start ranting and raving about getting it for 30 euros over here at Amazon and stockpiling bottles of this, because I do have the fear that it's going to go away soon over here in Europe and we won't be able to see it again ever. Mm. 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 Oh. Balanced, more of a depth, of a complexity of the wood, of the leather, of the nuttiness, pecan. Less of the Christmas spices, a little bit more of a Christmas cake, a Christmas pudding. A little bit of those dried fruits going on in there. Very, 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 very nice. All right, if I can find this again for 30 euros, this is a value for money. I don't think I hardly ever give an A for a value for money, but we have a Buffalo Trace product, 10 years old, with the age statement with 45%. For 30, I paid under $30 for this. That is a solid A value for money. If you see it again, buy it, buy it, buy it. At least over here in Germany. The normal price is 35, 36, 38. Even that, I'm going to say, for the product and what you're getting on taste experience, it's a B minus value for money. B on a good day. And the taste is a B. I really, really enjoy the Eagle Rare. C plus, B minus. Depends on the day and the feeling and so on. So my question of the day is fun. Remus, have you had the 6? What's your opinion? Have you had the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1? If you had the normal George Remus, did you like that? And what do you think about the Rossville Rise and the Remus products here from Ross and Squibb Distillery, formerly known as MGP. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others, and so sorry for not thoroughly enjoying this very hyped bottle here of, and many people say goodness. I'm not convinced. See you soon. Bye-bye.